you're anything like me, you sprawl out on the couch after a long day of doing absolutely nothing, and you turn on the TV to watch Saturday Night Live. You know, that sketch comedy show is kind of a big deal. Saturday Night Live is actually a comedic staple, which is why today I'll be informing you all about the history of the show, its influence on comedy and television, and also what it has become today. Saturday Night Live has always been interesting to me, not because it makes me laugh, but because the core concept grabbed my attention. I've done a lot of digging to learn more about this comedic masterpiece. But before we talk about what it means to us today, let's meet the creators and the original cast. First, a brief history of the show. The show was created in 1975 by Lorne Michaels and Dick Ebersol. Michaels was born in Toronto, Canada, and Ebersol was a New York native. It was originally called NBC's Saturday Night, until later changed in 1977 to what we know it by now as Saturday Night Live. SNL was a sketch-based comedy show filmed live in front of a studio audience. And it was created to fill a Saturday night slot. And that slot was originally held by The Tonight Show. And SNL had to meet the same time requirements as The Tonight Show, which were 90 minutes. The show featured a weekly host and a live band. The first host of Saturday Night Live was George Carlin, who was a well-known comedian at the time. The original cast consisted of Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Lorraine Newman, Gilda Radner, and Garrett Morris. The show had a risky production. Even Chevy Chase said in an interview that he did with the New York Times that he didn't think that the show would last for more than a year. Good Lord, was he wrong. The show was successful early on despite widespread doubt. However, it had its shortcomings due to the structure and the length of the show, which was 90 minutes. Within the first years of the show, Chevy Chase left to follow his Hollywood dream. Not long after, John Belushi followed him. Lorne Michaels also left the show, but returned shortly thereafter. By 1980, the core of the original cast had left the show, leaving it wounded in a sense. Saturday Night Live survived on its innovation. Through this innovation, Saturday Night Live helped change television. It thrived on its bold nature. One of the show's most popular segments, The Weekend Update, was and still is a satire on political endeavors. According to an article found in Live from New York, it's the fake news, Saturday Night Live, and the non-politics of parody. That is the title, by Amber Day. She writes that SNL writers were not the first ones to create a fake news show. They did, however, reinvent it for a new generation. The show had to be edgy and fresh because they were working for a live audience. There was no take two. The writers were pressured, but the pressure yielded an iconic show. Saturday Night Live was its own genre from the beginning. There was no other show like it, and there still really isn't. And Saturday Night Live made sketch comedy more popular on television. Shows such as Chappelle's Show, Key and Peele, and Mad TV were modeled after Saturday Night Live, but none ran the same risks as SNL did. So now that you know the basic history of the show and what it has accomplished through the course of its existence, let's talk about what the show has become. Coming up on its 40th anniversary, Saturday Night Live has become the cornerstone of comedy. The show has seen many actors and comedians make their debut on its stage. Actors such as Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, Chris Farley, and Adam Sandler made SNL their home. As I said before, Many shows have tried to recreate the success that SNL's had, but none have come close. The show has also done something that not many other shows can say they've done. Saturday Night Live has blurred the generational lines. An older audience experiences a more youthful and vibrant culture. At the same time, a younger audience can experience a culture enjoyed before their time. The show has become a showcase for serious talent, and its success is derived from its intelligent writing and the incredible cast. According to an article in the Museum of Broadcast Communications written by Jeffrey Hamill, Saturday Night Live must be held as one of the greatest programs on television for its writing and its ability to overcome adversity. However, SNL is not impervious to all seasons. Despite their shortcomings, SNL has continued to be a prominent comedy show for the past 4 decades. SNL has won countless awards for its writing, acting, and production, proving it to be a highly regarded television program. Now that we talked about SNL's humble beginnings, its impact on television, what it is today, and how funny it is, I hope you can go home today with a bit more appreciation for the show. In closing, Saturday Night Live has made its way to the top of the primetime television chart, accruing over 30 Emmy Awards. Its interesting history, influence on comedy and television, and what it means to us today make SNL one of the most memorable shows in history. So this Saturday night, when you're laying on your couch with Cheetos or whatever you're into, and turn to Saturday Night Live, I hope you have more of an appreciation for the show itself, and of course, laugh until you can't breathe. But remember to breathe, because that's important. Also, before you guys go, live from New York, it's Saturday night!